Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 107 of Serenova Crafts. I'm your host, Jessica. I can be found as Serenova on Ravelry and Twitter, and as Serenova Crafts on Instagram. You can find the show notes for today's episode on my blog or in the Ravelry group. Links down below if you're watching on YouTube. I'm also going to post a link to the video on Facebook. Feel free to come join the Facebook group, comment, like the page, join the Ravelry group, comment on the blog, whatever. I'm happy for feedback on my episodes. Because today is, in fact, going to be a proper episode. I have some knitting content, and it's been a while since I talked to you guys. I think the last time I recorded was the beginning of the month. I had to go back and check my YouTube page to kind of remember what number I was on, because my previous episode was like 106.5. And that was last week, so okay, that's not that bad. But, like, my last full episode, like, episode was a month ago, and I feel really bad about that. That was, like, mid-March. And it was Purim. And in the meantime, a whole other Jewish holiday has come and gone in the interim. And I did Anime Boston, and I seem to have gotten a little bit of my crafting mojo back, which is a good thing, because I had zero mojo for, like, most of March. Like, I got home from spa, and, like, my knitting mojo just gone. And, but now I seem to be getting it back, which is a good thing, because now I'm picking up yarn again, and I actually want to work on stuff, and I'm considering I need to finish this club so that the next installment can come in on time, and I can work on it, which should be good. This is actually going to be a hat with beads. Yeah. It's, the Yarn Over and Back Again, Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, I'll just say Tolkien Club from Erin Lane Bags. I joined as my birthday present to myself, since my birthday's in November, and that's when she, like, opened up the club for, like, sign up. So I'm like, birthday present to myself, I'm buying myself a club for 2017. So need to do this. I don't even know if I talked about this on the podcast. I don't think I did, because I think this came in like 2 days before Anime Boston. This came in. So it's the yarn, which I guess this counts as stash. This is Buffalo Wool Company. Their sock weight, it's a 50-gram skein, so it's about 200 yards, 90% superwash merino, 10% bison down. It's actually a little scratchy, but I think once it's washed, it'll soften up. I've heard that. And on the back of so there it is, the American Buffalo Company half tracks. That's the yarn. And it doesn't give a colorway name, probably because this was specially dyed for the club. But it says, from the downy undercoat of the American bison comes a surprisingly soft, seriously strong fiber we call Buffalo Gold. For more information and handling info, go to their website. But maybe it's just because my hands are rough from work, because my hands get soaked constantly all day, and my hands are actually really rough right now. It feels better on my face than it does on my hands. I think my hands are just really bad right now. But anyways, so we started out in Hobbiton with the Shire, and now we have moved on to the Elves. So technically Rivendell, but the hat pattern is called, like, Galadriel's something. Let me open that up real quick, and I can tell you what the pattern name is, because I downloaded it. Granny Shiny Seasons. Where are you? Galadriel's Gift. So it's like it's a cap. It's, like, got, like, lace. It's got, like, leaves with the beads, and then it just, like, ribbing decreases to the crown. Excuse me. But so it's from Le Tessier Designs, but it's cool because they actually put, like, Dwarvish runes at the top of the first one, and they put Elvish at the top of the second one. I think this looks like Sindarin, because there's also Tengwar and Quenya, because trust me, you do not want to get me going on Lord of the Rings. I don't want to get myself going on Lord of the Rings because I don't want this to be a 2-hour episode. But I will say I have on my shelf, what is it? Oh, I can't read the title from here because I don't have my glasses on. It's like Tolkien's Guide to Tolkien Languages or something like that. It's gonna bug me if I don't look up the title, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Google to the rescue. No, ack. Red cover. There we go. What is it? Ah, yes, here it is. It is The Languages of Tolkien's Middle-earth, the complete guide to all 14 of the languages Tolkien invented. Yeah, I have that on my bookshelf. So I might actually be able to tell the difference between Quenya, Sindarin, and Tangwar. Anyways, I did not come to rant about Lord of the Rings. But I will say, the bag has the same Elvish, because obviously this is Erin Lane bag, so it comes with a bag. And this one actually has a, like a snap closed top thing. Actually, no, this is just a handle. This just snaps into a handle, like that. Ta-da. And it's a drawstring bag. Ta-da. It's like a good sock shawl size. Well, small shawl. Hat. It's a hat bag, because it's for a hat. Anyways, so this is the bag, which matches the Elvish at the top. Matches. I hold it right. This way. I can look at it real quick. That way. Yay! So I actually will probably start this, because I've been thinking that I need something to cast on, because I've been having a little bit of starteritis, and I think maybe actually starting a project might get me the rest of the way out of the slump I'm in. So anyways, on to what I've actually been working on. And then I'll talk about, like, Anime Boston and Passover and all that stuff at the end, so if you just want to skip the rest of it, you can totally do that. So I have a hoe, because I'm working on socks. So the last time I did an episode, which was March, I had this much done on this sock. Well, as you can see, I've now finished the sock, and I started the second sock. Not much on the second sock, but I started the second sock. And I finished this sock at about 5 this morning, 5:30 a.m., because I woke up around 4 after going to bed at almost midnight and couldn't fall back asleep, no matter what. And I didn't want to disturb Kevin too much because he had to be up and, like, out the door by 8. So I basically just got up, went into the living room, turned on the TV, and watched How It's Made for, like, 3 hours until he got up. And then I watched Paranormal Lockdown because I'm a horrible person and I watch paranormal ghost shows on demand at random hours of the day. And then I came in here to record because, yeah, I just, I got a couple new magazines and some books and stuff, so I was, like, reading some articles in there, and then I came in to do this. So, yeah, that was the book. Anyways, so, have a hoe, have a sock. I still need to weave in the end, but it is cast off, and I have, in fact, started the second sock. So this is how far I've gotten since about 5:30 this morning. And that includes, like, reading and getting myself breakfast, which was more like a lunch because I've been up for so long that I didn't want breakfast food. I wanted, like, lunch food, so I had ravioli at, like, 10 o'clock this morning. C'est la vie, and I have to be at work for 4, so I'll actually, after I'm done recording this, I'll probably go take a nap, or try to take a nap, to get some rest before work, because I'm doing a close shift tonight. So, I had to get insomnia the night before I have to work a close shift. Just, just my luck. But anyways, I've been working on this, and I pulled out a crochet project that I hadn't worked on in a while, and I thought, because I figured I was thinking maybe a change in craft might help. So, I decided to try something crochet just to see if that might help get my butt moving. And it kind of did. Okay, this is one I don't have a picture for. I have, not counting those two, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 13 whips, not including the 2. I'm trying to get my number of whips down, but I might start one new thing just to kind of take the edge off so I don't start, like, 8 new things. Anyways, I'm using a pattern called Stashaholics Brain Dead Afghan. It's a free crochet pattern on Ravelry. It's by Sherry Bondi. It's available for free on her website, and literally it's 2 rows. 1 setup row, and then you repeat the second row ad infinitum until you're done. And keep in mind, I started this project to use up 3 balls of the same color of Karen 1 pound. Okay? Like, just keep that in mind. I had 3 balls of the same color of Karen 1 pound because I bought them on sale for $5 a piece at AC Moore because they were having a sale and they were $5 a piece, so I bought 3 of the same color. And then I bought a 4th of a different color that I'm trying to decide what to do with. But anyways, I made the chain, the original, when you chain however many for a crochet project at the beginning, I chained like 400, 500, something. I chained a lot. So looking at my notes back from May of last year when I started this thing and then didn't touch it for like 9 months, 10 months, I started it with a 300 chain, which was 25 pattern repeats. Now, considering this is a free pattern on her blog, I'm not giving anything away. And then I decided it wasn't wide enough because I was going for something big enough to cover Kevin and I's queen size bed. So it wasn't wide enough to cover the bed. So I ripped it out. And then I chained just over 500 to do 40 repeats so that it's wide enough to cover the queen size bed. So I have it in a basket. It's not big enough to fill the basket yet, but it'll get there. Here's my printout of the pattern. As you can see, it's very short. You have row 1, which is a setup row, and row 2, which you repeat until you're done. Very simple. So this looks like a really, really long scarf at the moment. By the way, I love these baskets. I have 2 of them. I have another one buried underneath down here that's bigger that I use for like storage of stuff, and another skein of this. Okay, so there goes a crochet hook, and I'm in the middle of the row. Say lovey. I said that like 3 times today. Whatever. Okay, I'm close to the beginning. So here's, I've done, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've done 7 rows. But considering they're 40 repeats long and they're, you know, okay. So here's how it looks. Simple motif. It probably looks slightly backwards because I crochet left-handed. I knit like most people, right-handed. I go from right to left when I knit, but I go from left to right when I crochet, which is backwards of how every single pattern on the planet is written. And it's backwards from how every instruction book on the planet is ever written. So when I was first like self-teaching myself how to crochet, I basically had to photocopy the book and then like flip it, like use a photocopier to flip it like on the vertical axes so that it was basically backwards so that I could crochet left-handed. Fun times. Which is also part of the reason I crochet left-handed is part of the reason I'm a thrower and not a picker when I knit, because I carry the yarn in my right hand for both knitting and crochet. So it's like super ingrained to have the yarn in this hand, and I can throw. I mean, I can pick. I can knit continental, but I prefer to knit English because I'm just so used to having the yarn in this hand. Not that you guys can tell my left from my right, but I know this is my right hand and I know this is my left hand. Anyways, so this thing is stupid long. So here is, you know, a decent sized chunk I can hold up and go, wee, right? But then it keeps going and going and going. And there we go, there's the end, right? So it's actually really quite long, but it's meant to cover a queen size bed, so, you know. And I knew, and like the chain, when I did that like 500 plus chain was like crazy long. Like it went across like half the living room. But I knew, because it was going to squash, that it was going to be okay. But yeah, so I'm working on that now. And I love my baskets. These are really fun. They're cool. I want like a little one I can like carry around as like a purse or something. But unfortunately, I'm probably not going to make it to New Hampshire Sheep and Wool this year because the Saturday before Mother's Day and Mother's Day, I'm probably going to have to work. So can't get the day off. My manager was like, literally no one can request this day off. Like it's not, I'm not like anti-knitting. It's literally, this is one of the busiest days in our year and I need all hands on deck. So she wasn't trying to be mean about it, but it was literally like, yeah. So, that's what I've been working on. I do have a couple of other things I'm going to do before I talk about all the stuff I've been doing that has nothing to do with crafting. And I'm about 13 and a half minutes in at this point. So, I will say I have yet to do the draw for March in my Ravelry group. So I'm going to do that because, well, I need to do it. It hasn't been done yet. So there were 15 entries in this one, and I closed it like April 1st, April 2nd, so a couple people posted on April 1st, which was fine. But there were 15 entries, so I'm going to pull up the randomizer on my phone. Come on. I added a whole bunch of, like, new, like, things in my thing, so, yeah. Anyways, where are you? Come on. There we are, randomizers. Come here. You can open? Thank you. It's lovely when your phone doesn't cooperate, isn't it? So I'm going to do 2 to 15. And randomize. 14. So 14 was Contented Juniper with her gray-eyed mittens. For the end of, apparently, the New Hampshire Knits, she did a mitten knit-along. And, oh, the picture of her on the group. Sorry, I need to focus the camera. Yoo-hoo, camera, focus. Please. Please. Focus. Come on. Come on. There we go. Oh, come on. What are you doing? Okay, whatever. I've manually focused the camera because it's being ridiculous. But she's apparently holding a really cute black lamb, and it's absolutely adorable. So go check out the picture because it is cute. So Contented Juniper, post number 14. Send me a PM on Ravelry or a PM anywhere or on Facebook or whatever. Send me a message somehow, preferably on Ravelry because then you can link the pattern with what you would like. Remember, it's a $6 pattern credit from me to you. Feel free to just find something you like for $6 and ask for it because that's the whole point. So I'm just making a note that you won. And there we go. So I did open the April thread, and there are already a few posts in it. Because I figured even though I'm not, like, making a podcast, I can still open the thread. So, oh, needlebook. Oh, that's cool. Where, like, you knit, like, pages of a book, and then you can put, like, needles and things in them, and ooh, I like those socks, Jennifer. Those are really cool. And more socks from Jennifer. And, pock bears. I like, oh, the Cookie A socks. Those are good. So, yeah, there's some nice stuff in there. Storm Coast with a hitchhiker. Looks really good. So, that's totally open. There's a chatter thread. If you want to talk about any projects that anybody's posted, feel free to earburn them over in the chatter thread in the Ravelry group so that I just have FOs. I just have foes in the draw thread because it makes my life easier when I go to pull a number. And keep in mind, it doesn't have to be a knitted object. It can be crochet, it can be knitted, it can be sewn, it can be quilted, it can be embroidered, it can be woven, it can be like a finished object of something to do with fiber craft. Okay? So like it doesn't have to be knitting. You're welcome to put knitting in, but it doesn't have to be knitting. Alright, so I'm done with the whips and everything, and before I move on to the next step, I'm just going to show you some like knitting books and stuff I got recently. So I got the two most recent editions of Piecework, the January-February one, which is their like annual historic knitting issue, and then I got their March-April one, which is like all about like Victorian lace and some other like a coin purse, and there's actually a really interesting article about, I think it's pronounced colcha embroidery. It's spelled C-O-L-C-H-A, but it's Spanish, which I can't pronounce for the life of me. So, but, eloquent culture. That's what it is. It's all about that special kind of embroidery that developed in the New World after Spanish immigrants came to, like, Mexico and then up into New Mexico and Arizona. And then I picked up a quilting book because I figured I could use some quilting tips because the couple of quilting books I have don't really cover beginner stuff. So I figured, beginner book, why not? It actually has, like, beginner stuff. And then lastly, I picked up a book on two-color brioche knitting at Barnes & Noble because I was there the other day and I figured, well, I like at least 4 of the patterns in here, which makes it worth the price of the book, and I have a coupon. So I figure it'll be good. So like I like some of the patterns. I don't necessarily like the colors they worked them in, but I like the design. So they're like scarf, shawl-let things. And I like them, so I figured, why not? Worth the cost. Because I'd pay that much for like 4 patterns on Ravelry over time. So like, I can just get the book. And it has like all the techniques and how-tos and everything in there. So that's good. Alright, now on to not crafting related stuff. So, on to non-crafty stuff for people who are remotely interested. Went to Anime Boston. Didn't take a whole lot of pictures this year, actually, but I did go to some fun panels. And I did get a few things. Oh, yeah, I printed that out. This is what the hat's supposed to look like, by the way, for that knit-along. Yeah, that's what it is. But I did get some cool stuff. And I do have some posters and things. And I got some autographs. And so I thought that was fun. So, if you don't know, I've been really into Sailor Moon for a really long time, as in when it became available in the U.S. is probably about when I got into it. So that was probably 1995. It's been over 20 years. Let me put it that way. It's been over 20 years, and, yeah. It's been a long time. I have Sailor Moon fanfiction saved to floppy disks still at my mom's house. That tells you how long I've been in the fandom, then, yeah. But anyways, there was a Sailor Moon panel run by Viz, because they were announcing Season 3, which is Sailor Moon S. We got posters. It's double-sided. Which way? That way. Well, can't do this on screen. So double-sided. Because season 3 is coming out on, I think it's Blu-ray. Yep, Blu-ray. So, but we got posters because, if you attended the panel, you got a poster. And they had the voice actors for actors and actresses because, for Luna, Artemis, Chibiusa, who's also Rini if you're familiar with the old dub, Sailor Venus, who is Minako Aino, or Aino Minako, depending on which way you say the name. Her first name's Minako. People call her Mina. And the English voice of Tuxedo Mask / Mamoru Chiba / Darien Shields. And the Japanese voice of Tuxedo Mask / Mamoru Chiba. Because they never called him Darien in Japan. Anyways, so after the panel, which was really fun, and they actually, at one point, the moderator of the panel literally stood up and said, "This next part cannot end up on the internet or we can never do another panel." Because they were showing us a preview of stuff from the upcoming season, and they hadn't done, any of the sound for it yet. They literally had, the raw voice recording, and that was it. There's no background noise, no music, no sound effects, literally nothing. And they were like, if this ends up on the internet, forget ever holding another panel ever. Not gonna happen. So, it was really fun, had a blast. So afterwards I decided to go get signatures, and I didn't have anything to sign because I wasn't planning to go get autographs from people. So, they gave you little cards that you could get signed. So, Sailor Moon on one side. And then Tuxedo Mask, because that was who the voice actor was. So, the Japanese voice actor signed here. And then this is Johnny Young Bosch over here, who is the new voice for Tuxedo Mask in the redub. If you aren't familiar with some of the phrases I'm using, dubbed is when you take a show that's not in English and you hire new voice actors and re-record the audio, basically. That's called dubbing. And the original dub, done by Deke, if I remember. Yes, done by Deke. No, was it Saban or Deke? I think it was Deke. I think Saban was Power Rangers. And Deke was Sailor Moon. It's been a while. Anyways, it was really, really bad. And really notorious for having cut, entire episodes out of the first season. The season finale was supposed to be a 2-parter. They cut it down to 1 episode. Yeah. So they're redoing it without cuts, without anything, not changing it, literally just, transcribing it into English. Maybe changing a few jokes, because some of the wordplay in Japanese doesn't work in English. But, so, Johnny Young Bosch, who was the Black Power Ranger in Season 3 of Mighty Morphin, if I remember correctly, he's Tuxedo Mask now. Yay! So I got signatures. And I actually thanked the Japanese voice actor in Japanese, because I know how to say thank you, even if I don't speak Japanese. And he got, really excited, because, apparently I was the only person to do that. And his translator was like, "Do you speak Japanese?" And I'm like, "No, I just know how to say thank you." They're like, no, that's fine. And then I also got a signature from the woman who is a new voice actor for Chibiusa, who is also Black Lady, who is also Small Lady Serenity, who is also Usagi's daughter from the 30th century. So, that was fun. Then I need to pull this out of here to show you, because I got some really cute prints in Artist Alley. And I need to pull the Black Lady picture out to show you the prints, because there's a print underneath. There's a print underneath Black Lady, if I can get it out. Oh, no. So I got a print of Gigi from Kiki's Delivery Service, because I thought this was utterly adorable. And then from the same artist, I got a print of the 3 lunar cats from Sailor Moon. Because if you can't tell, I'm slightly obsessed with Sailor Moon. Still am to this day. If you look hard enough on the internet, you can find fan fiction written by me for Sailor Moon out there. I'm not going to tell you where to go find it, but if you look hard enough, it's there. And then also, this year's theme was retro at Anime Boston, so they actually gave out posters. Right? And on the back, it's their original logo from 2003, because it was their 15th year this year. So that was cool. And I also got to see Puffy Amiyumi in concert, because they were there as one of the special guests of the con. And one other thing I got that I want to show, and this is more crafty related. I swear, this is actually related to crafts. I was like, I could have spent all my money on this woman's booth, because she makes the most adorable origami earrings. Look at this. It's a little gray fox. It's a little gray fox. Isn't that the cutest thing? Oh my god. So I got a set of earrings, because they were just too cute. I couldn't. I had to get the earrings. But see, crafty. I think this is about it. I went to I went to some interesting panels at AB. One of the panels I went to actually was called Japan and the Jews, and I thought it was going to be really good, and at least the guy running the panel was Jewish, but he got sidetracked a lot, so unfortunately, like, it didn't go very well. I also went to a panel about the history of Shinto as, like, a philosophy, because the Japanese don't really consider it a religion, they consider it like a way of life. It's more, to them, it's more culture. So, there was some study, there was some, like, survey they took of Japan where it said, like, 78% of the country said they were Shinto, like, 80% of the country said they were Buddhist, like, 20% of the country said they were, like, Christian/other, and, like, 60% of the country said they weren't religious. Those percentages don't work, right? Because the Japanese don't think about religion the way we think about religion here in the Western world from Asia. So, like, the European-influenced world thinks differently about religion from how Asia, really as a whole, because China, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, India, they all think about religion kind of differently than we do here in, like, America and Europe. And it's really interesting when you get into the philosophies and everything. So, but that was cool. Went to a panel about the imperial family of Japan, which was a little odd because apparently they're going to have a succession crisis soon if they don't change the laws because they're only having girls, and right now only boys can inherit. Who knew, right? There's one other thing I want to show you folks because I did actually buy a kimono at Anime Boston, and a book, actually. So this goes back slightly to last year's Anime Boston, where I attended a panel hosted by the author of this book. So this is Paul McLarty. It was one of the authors, okay? So Kimono, Vanishing Tradition, Japanese Textiles of the 20th Century. So Paul, he was there last year at Anime Boston, ran a panel about kimono. And actually, I got it signed. He actually signed the book for me. Where is it? It's on the title page. He signed the book. When I bought it at his booth, he signed the book. Because I went to his panel last year. I didn't get to the panel this year, but it was the same panel. But I went to their booth and I actually bought a kimono. So this is the second kimono I own. So this is the obi that goes with it. It's like an orange with gold obi. And then the actual kimono itself, here, which way is this go? Okay. You can see the pattern on it. It's like woodcut prints. This is actually a real kimono from Japan, I swear. Like, it's legitimate. And all the scenes on the kimono are from the Tale of Genji. So I thought that was really cool. So I bought it. It was a bit of a splurge purchase, but it actually wasn't as expensive as you would think. It was less than $100. So, not as expensive as you would think. But yeah, so I was very happy to be able to get the book this year because I hadn't gotten it last year. So, yay, book about kimono. And literally, this is a full color, like, illustrated book about kimono. And I'm just like, yes! Because I'm a nerd, and I absolutely love kimono. Love, love, love kimono. I'm a Japan nerd. Right? Hides behind book about kimono. Alright, so I think that's it, everyone. I've actually hit almost a half hour with this, which is the longest episode I've done in a while. And, yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to comment on YouTube, on Ravelry, on Facebook, on the blog, wherever. You can message me on Instagram or Twitter, or really, if you have any questions, just contact me somehow. I'm out there enough, you can find me. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you were a new viewer, thank you for putting up with my rant about not crafting related stuff. If you're a returning viewer, you're pretty used to this at this point. I go off topic at the end a fair bit, but honestly, like, it felt really good to record this episode and get back to doing this, so hopefully, I'll be able to get a new episode in next week before work, because I'm doing a couple of close shifts on Thursday and Friday, so look for a new episode sometime late next week. Alright, have a good one, everyone. Bye!